Hey guys, welcome to SoCal Training Team. Wanted to walk through, I get quite a few questions. I get quite a few emails and calls in regards to experience that you need for the regional center. So what I wanted to do was just take the time. I'm going to go to Inland Regional Center website, but I just wanted to take the time to show you guys where to find the experience requirements, because it's going to be similar across the board for all regional centers and the level of care. So none of that's going to change, and it's pretty specific as far as what the requirements are. So let's go ahead and let me open up another tab here, and I'm going to just Google Inland Regional Center. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, I'm just showing you guys how to navigate to the regional center and the website as well. So we are going to go to Inland Regional Center and services. And so I want to show you the experience requirements. So I'm just going to scroll down. This is under services, service providers. And I want to go to residential facilities because that's what I typically deal with. So, and then you have here the NRSPO, which is the new residential services provider orientation, the qualifications for you to take this orientation, and this pertains to the qualifications that you need in order to open your adult residential facility as well. So we're just going to kind of go through. This is for the new provider orientation qualifications. You have to, the experience has to be direct care staff experience, meaning you're a direct care staff in one of these facilities. The experience must be current. It has to be within the last 3 years, so keep that in mind. It can't be old experience, it has to be newer experience. And then this is the experience requirement. So if you want to open up a level 2 facility, you need 6 months prior experience providing direct supervision and special services for a person with developmental disabilities, and the experience must be in a level 2 facility. So the only way you're going to get that type of experience is going to be in a regional center vendored home at that level. So the next one is providing level 3 supports. You have to have 9 months experience providing the same thing, direct supervision with people that have developmental disabilities, and it has to be experience has to be level 3 or higher. And then I'm clicking too much stuff here. And then the last portion is if you're interested in opening a level 4 facility, same thing, right? But the experience level is higher. You have to have 12 months experience working in a regional center home, and then it has to be level 4. So the only thing, the difference with this level 4 part is that you may know they have different levels. So they have level 4A to I. So if you want to open up a level 4I, it has to be at that level. It has to be level 4 at I. If you want to open up a level 4B, it has to be level 4B experience or higher. So I always suggest you get your experience in the highest level facility, which is level 4I. Well, there are technically higher than that, but if you get your experience in level 4I, then you're able to qualify for level 3, level 2, level 1, so on and so forth. So you want to keep that in mind with your experience. So there's no way around this. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse, a doctor, a social worker, you've worked in the school district with people with special developmental disabilities. That does not qualify you guys. It has to be specific to a regional center, vendored home, and it has to meet these requirements, and that experience has to be within the last 3 years. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut. I know everyone, they keep asking questions, but I do this. I'm a teacher. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I have a special needs kid. That does not qualify you. So I just want to clarify that. And then also, part of that, while you're going through getting your experience, there are things that you need to accumulate along the way, such as your administrator certificate. If you're opening an adult residential facility, you need your administrator certificate. That's the 35-hour initial certification. We teach that course every single month. It doesn't matter where you live, as far as in California, or even if you're out of state, if you want to develop a facility in California, it is something that you need. So we offer that class on our website. The second thing you need is direct support professional training, DSP year one, at least at the minimum. But there are two different courses for this. There's DSP 1 and then there's DSP 2. I suggest as you're working in that facility, you get DSP 1 and 2. And then you need a professional resume. That should be pretty straightforward. You need a resume that documents your experience. And then lastly, you need your professional references. You need 3 letters that from professional references that talk a little bit about your professionalism and the skills that you have. And once you have all this in order, you can then sit in the regional center orientation, which is important as well because you need that orientation in order to submit your program statement and application to the regional center. So just to kind of recap on this, this is the inland regional center requirements, but all the regional centers are very similar. They're going to require the same amount of experience. So you want to definitely keep that in mind. And when you're ready to take your class, your initial certification class, I'm going to go back to our website. So when you're ready to take your class, just to show you how to navigate the site really quickly. So when you want to take your initial certification, this is the website, SoCalTrainingTeam.com. You would just click on initial certification, and then you would go to ARF ICTP. That ICTP stands for Initial Certification Training Program. So you want to click on that. And then as you can see, we have classes for the remainder of the year. And we teach the class each month. It is on Zoom video, so you can take it in the comfort of your own home. To register for the class, you just click on obviously add to cart. And when you add to cart, one thing I want to show you is, so it's going to give you an option for the hard copy of the training book, which is right here, this ARF Initial Hard Training. I suggest you always get this book because it gives you a hard copy of the book. It's a tangible item that you can write in and you can take notes. If you do not purchase the hard copy of the training manual, then you will just get a PDF version of it. I mean, you can take notes on the PDF version as well, but I don't know what type of person you are. So I like to have a book that I can refer back to and that I don't always have to log on or on a computer to find information or to refresh my memory, and I want that guide. And another bonus to having the hard copy of the book is that the book is open test, so when you have to test with the state, you can actually use this training book. You can't use the day 1 through 5, but you can use the regulations, the 2 sections of the regulations from Title 22. That'll make more sense to you when you actually take the class on, and you'll be able to see why I'm saying that. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Wanted to share with you guys the experience, and it is on the Regional Center website. And just to kind of backtrack, I just want to go through again. I'll show you where I found it. So when you're on the website, let me go to the home page. So when you're here, you just go to service providers, and then you're just going to scroll down to the bottom. You're going to scroll all the way down, and then residential facility and day service providers, and your qualifications. You can also find out when the next orientation is, but remember, you can't take the orientation unless you qualify to take the orientation. But let's see, is there any updates on the orientation? And this just gives you when the next class is, and it looks like it has passed already. So but anytime you want to find out when the next class is, that's what they're talking about. And then there's a lot of different resources here for you guys. that you can utilize as well. And then there's the current service needs. They got requests for proposals, notice of need. These are the the current needs that they have. This changes from time to time. They have requests for proposals. These are the different things that they need, that they have a request for. Some of these things are really old, as you can see, 2020, 2021. That's old. So it looks like the most current thing they have, as of today, today's the 19th, August 19th, 2024, and request for proposals. I'm just clicking just to see what they have proposals for. And they have some startup stuff. Looks like this is some of the older information. Self-determination, commonly used forms. So the main thing is you want to no matter what catchment area you guys are in, you have to qualify for most programs. Any type of program you want to do, whether it's a day program, an adult residential facility, a group home for children, the main thing is experience. You have to have experience, or you have to have a qualified individual on your team that has the experience, that's willing to go with you for the ride. It's a lot more to the business than that, of course. It's a lot of barriers that you have to overcome in order to get started. There's operations funds, so it's not a very it's not an easy business to get into. It has a lot of hoops you have to jump through in order to get started. It takes a lot of money to get started. It's like anything that you want to start. As far as any type of service, you have to keep that in mind, that there is going to be some barriers. There are going to be expenses, a lot of expenses that you have to incur. And I don't want to sugarcoat this business like it's just easy. You're just going to come in here and you're going to start making money in the next 6 months or so, because it's not going to happen, and that's not reality. It's tough, it's rough, it's hard. It takes a certain individual to be able to be resilient enough to go through the whole process. Don't let anybody tell you that the process is going to happen overnight and you're going to get rich and all that, because it's not correct information. And I just want to provide you guys with full transparency, so you know what you're getting into, so you know what your expenses are going to be. If you don't want to bleed cash, if you can't afford to bleed cash to get started, then this is not going to be the business for you, because you're going to bleed cash before you make a dime. So you have to be able to sustain until you get started. And I always say my rule of thumb is you got to be able to sustain spending money for at least 12 to 18 months with an adult residential facility. And it's different for different types of facilities depending on what type of facility you're going to try to do. So almost 2 years, be ready to have those expenditures, because you have to demonstrate 3 times the amount of operating expenses. So that ends up being about $60,000 of operating expenses that you're going to need of disposable income. And I know that's tough for a lot of people to come up with. So keep that in mind. And I know that was a little rant a little tangent that I went off on. That wasn't the purpose of me going through this, but we just wanted to give you guys a little extra information. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, lsingleton@socaltrainingteam.com, or you can drop a comment. I try to respond to some comments. The comments that are genuine, I'll respond to them, and then we will go from there. But thank you for joining us here, SoCal Training Team. Please make sure you subscribe and share this channel, because it helps us with it helps me to have the ability to put out more content, and it lets me know you guys are watching it. So thanks, and I will see you on the next training.